ride Topthorne.
I had seen Benedict on British television before and really sought him out.
It was one of those magical moments. I got this call to go to a room and read the script. It immediately came off the page. It's such a potent bit of screenwriting, and I thought, this is a wonderful part. This is a really wonderful part. Judge! The first point of call was to try and become a good enough horseman to do what was required in the film.
What you two have bottled out.
As if.
Stuart is the soldier, the disciplinarian, and I think Waverley has got such a sort of irreverence to him and a sensitivity. But Nichols, I think, has a sense of how awful the war with Germany and northern France is going to be. And I think his way of coping with his own fear is that he draws these beautiful sketches of Joey. I'm not playing just a soldier, I'm playing a soldier who also has an artistic spirit.
Right then, let's see what you two jokers are made of, shall we?
This is what quiet confidence looks like. I'll wait for you two at the Duke of York.
And cut, very good.
I know that all three of us, Ben and Tom and me, we became incredibly attached to the horses that we were riding. And learning to ride for the film was just the greatest privilege I've ever had.
The thing about horses is they can sense fear, they can sense arrogance, they can sense true confidence. In training and all the way through the film, I noticed that whatever I was feeling, the horses would reflect back to me. And when you're slightly nervous, they can sense that. They get excited too.
Draw! Force! Give! Point! Charge!
We always expect humans to have character arcs in movies, but we never expect animals to. But even a horse can find something to believe in. And in this case, he finds Topthorne. More than even pitting Nichols and Stewart together, the most important thing for me was getting Topthorne and Joey to meet in a very competitive way.
I think there is also something quite heroic and extraordinary about men riding into battle on horses. It must have been a pretty awesome sight, but I think there is a massive amount of pageantry and pride and pomp and vanity that went with all of that.
I will get it. Of course you will. One more time. Okay, boys, set.
When war was declared, ceremonial uniforms were kind of banished from England. They were no longer worn. Everybody went into khaki. So the idea of the blue in this film is it's a kind of last hurrah for the ceremonial uniforms just on the outbreak of war. So they have one last practice charge in their blue ceremonials.
The officers would have had their clothes made for them to conform to the conventions of their regiments. But they all had different cloths and slightly different colours, and so if you really look closely, there's a lot of detail.
There's an elegance to the costumes. Joanna was saying how they were really gentlemen first and soldiers second.
You see the kind of necessary practice charge, but there's something kind of very British about that, you know. They blithely go into a cavalry charge, you know, never imagining that they could be met by a new form of technology that's going to change warfare forever and render the horse as an implement of war obsolete. So it was very important to contrast both kinds of cavalry charges. One which is sort of a pure kind of social sport, albeit necessary to train the horses, and the other one deadly serious.
Keep clear. Stand by. Stand by, guys. Right, guys. And let's roll sound, please. Roll.
The cavalry charge made me think differently about the whole movie because Stephen had an image in his mind about reeds blowing a little bit of pollen, and out of it come these soldiers that rise up, and now you suddenly see the horses, and now they're going to move from that idyllic backlit image all the way across into the field and then through a camp and then into a dark forest where the slaughter happens. I think that transition is really the beginning of the journey into the darkness.
Stand by to shoot.
First time we had them down the bottom of the field there, fully uniformed, all equipped correctly and looking exactly as they would have on the day. It was, well, sort of a shiver went down my spine really, because having spent so long studying it in books, to have it brought to life in front of me was just fantastic.
On to walk! Walk! March!
I mean, the sad thing is that the outcome of it was so often so tragic, but to be a participant in it, you read in the memoirs, they say that it was the greatest thrill around.
Cavalry charge was incredible. The horses were so excited to run. They had sometimes a hard time stopping them because they were enjoying the run together as a giant herd. It was beautiful.
Let's reset. Reset safety, boys. Don't walk in front of the horses.
First time, I was so breathless with excitement, I nearly fell off the horse. I saw stars in front of my eyes and I thought I was going to faint. And the second time, a bit more control, still as giddy with excitement. The third time, I was an emotional wreck. I had to really try hard not to cry.
Rolling. Set. Big lock up.
Some away, Benedict.
Forward to walk. Walk. Forward to captain. Captain.
We make movies primarily just with one camera. In this case, the camera was mounted to a car with a gyroscopic arm, and we were following on that arm as the cavalry was approaching the German encampment.